Thank you very much for coming to today's class. And today is our sixth Tocharische class. Last time we explained a little bit about the Tocharische grammar, the verbal system, and also the nominal system. Okay, and we will continue introducing some grammar, and then we will read from the Untitled Chapter. Okay, so for the grammar, like the previous meetings, we used the handouts by Professor Huckstein. So as I explained, we have for Tocharische nominal systems, primary and secondary cases. So this is actually the second cases. You have it here, okay. And then for the nouns, we have different classes. You also find the information in Tocharische Elementarbuch. Tocharische Elementarbuch. Okay, so this is class 1, and then this is class 2, and so on. So we actually introduced all the classes last time, and then it's the adjectives. Yeah. For the adjectives, you will always find the 3 case forms in the grammar, because all the other forms you can build from the oblique, from the accusative, right? Okay. And there are several classes of adjectives, and we also introduced last time. This is share or see. This is quite productive in Tocharische. And then another class called se. It comes from tia, okay, or tio, Indo-European. Okay, and this is also very productive. You find it. And this class called lie or le with l suffix, this is quite productive because the Tocharische gerundives end in l. Okay, lie or le. Okay. Okay. So for the genitive, there's a special p ending here. Liepi or liap. This is typical genitive. Okay. And then for the adjectives, there are some special cases. This one, for good, it has a superlative paradigm. It means that it uses several stems inside the whole paradigm. So for the nominatives called kasu, but then the obliquos, oblique, or accusative, it is clant or clantrum. Okay, and then this is for East Tocharische. So for the West Tocharische, we also have different stems. So nominative against all the other versus all the other forms. So nominative like car with ce, but in other cases you have klent, klont, nt stem. So it looks like here is a T stem, but then all the other is NT stem. Yeah. Okay. And then there's another very important class, namely the participle, the preterite participle. The typical ending is u and o. Yeah. So we have actually two categories. The first one is u. The second one is o. Okay. So this is o. This is East Tocharische. So for the West Tocharische, you have again the u, but here owl, yeah. So the correspondence, I think probably you recognize some of them. So all in B really corresponds to A, all, yeah. And then B, if you have a I, and then you in A you have the A, yeah. So this is usual correspondence between these two languages. Okay. And U is the same, yeah. And then still you see the other forms, other cases are different. Here you have like it looks like a osh, and then you have nt here. This is osh, 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 and then you have nt. But here again you have ush, and then it is unch. The unch actually goes back to nt, yeah. So you can still see that inside the same paradigm you have different stems, yeah. Okay, so this is feminine. Feminine is us, usa, und, and so on. Yeah. So it's actually they actually go back to the perfect participle. In Sanskrit, it's called vams or vas. Yeah. Sometimes yeah, it's there's also yeah vams. Yeah, vas. Yeah. Okay, and then pronoun. So for the pronoun, we actually have two sets. The personal pronoun, I and you, plural, we and you, and then we have demonstrative pronouns. Yeah. So one special thing for the personal pronoun, actually in Tocharische A, there's a very special phenomenon that we have feminine first person in Tocharische A. Yeah. So this is a special case. Yeah. It is not attested in other Indo-European languages. There's actually not a very, there's actually no good explanation for this phenomenon, that a feminine singular first plural, first person. Yeah. Okay. And then for the personal pronoun, we have a suffixed or enclitic version. So it looks like a abbreviated form. Yeah, so like the first person, originally have nirsh or near, but then you have a near. Yeah, in East Tocharian, it's still near. Yeah, it's always placed after some verbs. Yeah, it's quite common. Yeah, this is suffixated pronomen. Yeah. Okay, and for the plural, they are the same for the three persons. Yeah. They differentiate actually only in singular. For the plural, they use the same form. Yeah. Man in B in West Tocharian and M in East Tocharian. Okay, so for the demonstrative pronouns, you actually have four sets in B. Okay, four sets in B, but three sets in A. So the first one, corresponding to Sanskrit sa, you find it also in the grammar. Wait a minute. Yes, you find it. So you find it in the. So you find it in the grammar. That's the first set corresponding to Sanskrit sa or there. Yeah, so it's actually anaphoric. This is su in B, sem in A. Yeah, sem, cham, chami, chem. This is plural, and chesem, chesmi, and so on. Yeah, this is feminine. Sam, temi, and so on. And the difference you see is actually the final consonant. The first set ending in M, 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 and the second set ending in S, 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 S. Yeah. as sh, s, yeah, and so on. The second set means actually dieser or ayam, Sanskrit ayam. And then the third set corresponding to Sanskrit esha. So esha is actually starker dixis, it's a strong demonstrative, yeah. And the third set is marked by the final n. So anusvara, n, yeah, n, n, yeah, here, yeah. So in Tocharian anusvara, the pronunciation is actually n, not an n, yeah. It's different from Sanskrit. Okay, so this is basically, okay. And then you have interrogative pronouns, yeah. Also have in Sanskrit, of course. So kus, kuse, kuch, kuche, ke or kete, and so on. Yes, this is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so basically like this, yeah. And then probably let's move on to verbs. Verbs are a little bit complicated. So at the beginning we talk about this this, how to say that, this table of 4 categories, right? So basically we can build all the forms from the 4 category, from the 4 stems, yeah. The first is present stem, then second is subjunctive stem, third is preterite stem, and fourth is participle preterite stem. And then you can build all the forms, yeah. So now, today we talk about present. So for the present, basically we can distinguish between semantic and asematic. Semantic and asematic present. The first probably is the asematic. So this is a typical Indo-European word called go, yum or yush. Yeah. So it comes from the Indo-European word for go, and you have in Sanskrit it's I. Yeah. In Tocharian it's also I. If you check the lexicon by Mao Zedong, so you have an I here, so it means go. Yeah. The present calls yam, yat, yang, yeah, and so on. And this is B, and then the A. The A form is yin, yit, yush, and then plural, imas, ich, inch, or yunch. Yeah. So you always find the alternation of I into in or besides the palatal context, I or y. I or yeah, okay. And then this is the imperfect form called yem, yet, yesh, yeah. And third person plural is called yinch. Okay, but you will find the forms only for present because for all the other forms there's a suppletion by Kirk. Okay, so this is also a very, how to say that, very important feature or typical Indo-European feature that you find a suppletion by certain verbs. And for example, by go, it's actually a typical word for suppletion. Like you have in Sanskrit the same case. So you have Sanskrit, you have in Sanskrit I for present, and then you have ga, or sometimes gam, right? Yeah, so they all mean go, but they use it in different tenses. Yeah, okay. Of course, you have gam also in present, but usually ga is in aorist, I think. So if you check the dictionary by Meyerhofer, you will see that for ga, so you can see ga actually means den Fuß aufsetzen, beginnen und treten, schreiten. And then the aorist is actually root aorist, but the present is a reduplicated aorist, reduplicated present. And for the semantic, namely the aspector and Aktionsart, you can check the book Injunctive by Karl Hoffmann. So this is, so gar is actually punctual, the Aktionsart. So his Aktionsart is actually punctual, yeah, it's a punctual verb. It means that der Fuß aufsetzen. Yeah, okay. Or schreiten. Yeah, it does not mean go exactly, but it means that you raise your foot. Yeah, you raise your foot and then you put your foot down. Yeah, so it's kind of a punctual action. Yeah, but to go is kind of a durative action. Yeah, so this is actually different. Yes, and the same thing occurs in Tocharische. So for the present, you use the same root, I, like in Sanskrit, I, right? But for the subjunctive and other forms, you use kirk, right? So if we can, I think we can check the word kirk. So kirk, you find it here, kirk, you find it here, means go, but only for the subjunctive and optative and preterite, right? So it's subjunctives, kar, kam, kar, kart, kar, karsh, and so on. Yeah, so this is the case. And the same thing you also find in Greek. Probably some of you probably know in Greek. I can show you a grammar. In Greek, you find the present is called elhomai, but for the aorist, you have edison, so it's pretty different. Yeah. So I can show you the grammar. So this is a elementary grammar if you want to check some verbs. Yeah. So in the Greek verbal system, for go or come, I mean go and come sometimes means expressed by the same root. Like in Sanskrit, gam actually means go and come. Yeah. So present is called elhomai, but the aorist is called elson, or here eduson. Yeah. So eduson is in epic, so it's like in Homeric Greek. It's older than elson. So elson is actually classical Greek. Okay. Yes, so this is this is a widespread phenomenon in Indo-European languages that you have suppletion for verbs meaning go. Okay, and then let's yes. So this is the verb go in Proto-Indo-European hey. Yeah. This is first a present one. It's called simple asymmetric. Okay. And what is simple asymmetric? You just put the ending mi, si, ti directly after the root. So this is a simple asymmetric. Okay. Yeah. And then present two, second class, it's called simple semantic. So simple semantic means you have, I'm not sure if there's other better examples. Yeah. Okay, we can use it. So simple semantic means that you have a root, right? And then you have a semantic vowel. And then after the semantic vowel, you put an ending. So there's a simple, there's a semantic vowel between the root and the ending. Yeah. Okay, like this one. This one means to protect, schützen. There's another word called to go, or to lead, sorry, führen, yeah. But I mean, here you would see that it's a scare. It means that originally in Proto-Indo-European, it is actually a scare semantic present. But in Tocharian, the sk has been, how to say that, lexicalized to be a part of the root. So if you check the Tocharian lexicon, you find the root not as a pa, but as pask. Find it here. So the root is actually called pask in the Tocharian lexicon. But if you check the, I can show you, if you check the Indo-European dictionary for Indo-European verbs, what happened? So actually for the Indo-European dictionary, yeah, so this is actually the root. It's a root called pech, yeah. And the sk is actually one of its present formations, yeah. So it means that in Tocharian, it has the suffix sk has already become an inseparable part of the root, and making it just a simply pask. Yeah. So this is actually the reason why we have pask here. Yeah. Okay. And then pask becomes a pass in Tocharian a. Yeah. So it's kind of a assimilation and then simplification. Yeah. So sk becomes a s. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So this is a second simple semantic. And then for the third and fourth class, and they are called actually the Zustand presence because it expresses always. So it's used always in middle. Yeah. So if we check the, wait a minute. So if we check the paradigms, you will find it here. So this is actually the paradigms. Yeah. So you can see present 3 and present 4, they are actually a deponent. Yeah, deponentish or deponent. You also have in Latin the same terminology. It means that it's only in middle. Yeah, the middle is kind of a state, reflexive. Yeah. Okay, so this two classes can be called Zustand presence, and they have special suffixes. So for A, so for B, so Tocharian B, it's an A suffix. So Tocharian A, it's an R suffix. So you have it here. So for the same root musk, you have muskema, but in Tocharian A, you have muskama. So R here. But here is A. So it's kind of two different. Well, they look different, but they go back to the same to the same morpheme, namely the suffix aye or oyo. Sorry, aye or ayo. Yeah, so it's going. They go back to the same suffix. Yeah. Okay, and then the fourth class, the how to say that the marker, the typical suffix is actually or for B and A for East Tocharian. Yeah, and the you can find the examples here. So the root called plant, vergnügend sein. Yeah, in Tocharische B, it's called plontomai, plontomar. Yeah, and in Tocharische A, it's plantmar. Yeah, okay. Here, but sometimes the R can be deleted in Tocharische A, but sometimes preserved. Yeah, platater. Yeah, okay, plontoter. Yeah, so you find the O corresponding to R here. Yeah, this is another class. Yeah, and the origin of this class goes back to a suffix or suffix plus jejo present. So jejo is a typical Zustand presence. It's a typical suffix expressing the state. Okay, and this laryngeal 2 is an abstract non-suffix. Okay, yeah, from the root heich. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then you have a okay, yeah, and then the next one is present 5. The marker is the R morpheme before the ending. Yeah, so this R morpheme actually go back to the laryngeal. Yeah, so it's the same R here and R last long R in Tocharische A. Yeah, so they all go back to the so-called set or set root, and in Tocharische we call it a R root. So a root. Yeah. So it is always marked. I can show you. It's always marked in the dictionary. So if you check the root parwa here in the dictionary, yeah. So you find a small a at the top, right? Yeah. So you find a small a here, parwa. Okay. So it means that it is a so-called a root corresponding to Sanskrit set root, and it goes back to a final laryngeal. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is yeah. This is the reason why it is called a present, because laryngeal between consonants they will turn into a in Tocharische. Yeah. So it's like this. Yeah. And then we have nasal present with the nasal infix, which is pretty common in other Indo-European languages. You also have it in Sanskrit, right? Okay. And inside the nasal present, we actually have two kinds. The first one is called ana or na. In Tocharische A, it's called na. Yeah. And then the second one is just simply a nasal infix. Yeah, nasal infix. And why do we have this difference? Because the first one also go back to the words, to the roots ending in a laryngeal. Yeah, so you know the root. Not really. Not really Indo-European, I think. Yeah. But probably we can check other cases. Oh, we don't have 6 here. It's a pity. Yeah. Okay. Yes, the origin is actually the na suffix, the na class, go back to a root containing a r, yeah, containing a laryngeal. Yeah. So this is the origin. And then the 7th class, simple n, simple infix n, does not contain any laryngeal. Yeah. So this is a root called for drawing, yeah, painting. Yeah. So pinkenti. Yeah. So you have you find the root also in the lexicon. It's called pika. It's called pika. Yeah. So it's actually in Tocharian a root, but in the present it's a seventh class. Yeah. The a character of the Tocharian verbs are actually sometimes it's inherited from the Indo-European languages, but sometimes it's not. It's a Indo-Tocharian innovation sometimes. Yeah. Okay. So you have the picker, yeah, but in Tocharian A, it's pickers. It's a first class, right? First class. But in Tocharian B, it's seventh class. So you find the sometimes they are the same, but sometimes they are pretty different. Yeah. Yeah. And it goes back to the Proto-Indo-European root called pake or pake. Yeah. Pake or pake. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's actually the Sanskrit root pish. Yeah. Or pesh. You have the Sanskrit root here. Or we can check the Indo-European dictionary. It's pretty easy. Yeah. So so either this word, so it's cognate with Latin pingo or pingere, right? Or it is connected with this root called pake, means originally means schneiden or hauen, yeah. And in Sanskrit, it's called schneiden, and then zeichnen, auszeichnen, right? Okay, and in Tocharian it means paint. Okay, malen, schreiben, yeah. Sometimes auch schreiben, yeah. Okay, so this is actually this root. Well, why we have two possibilities, pake or pake, because in Tocharian the voiceless and voiced consonants, they fall together. So actually you can't really distinguish between these two roots, pake or pake. Yeah, it's difficult. It's actually in Tocharian, you can't distinguish between these two roots. Yeah, g and g. They all become k in Tocharian. Okay, so this is the nasal present. And then the so-called S or SK present, which is also quite productive in Indo-European languages. You also have it in Sanskrit, like Sanskrit gam gachati. Yeah, so it goes back to the sk present, and the sk present is also preserved, of course, in Tocharian. Like you have. Yes, you have it here, like this one called kush. Kush comes from the root gel for gießen, yeah, and Tocharian B, laksao, from the root lake, yeah. Lake lake means that you spread horizontally like that, yeah. Okay, so laksao, okay. Okay, yeah, called gerade Richten ausstrecken, yeah. Yeah, so it's like this, yeah. Mm. Mm. And then you actually have a nice class, it's called skr, but in Tocharian A, skr becomes simple S, so you cannot distinguish between s and skr, yeah. But in Tocharian B, it's distinguished, it's different. The first one is s with S, second one is sk, yeah. So for example, Yeah, like this one, you have kun Moscow, you have kumsam. It means to go. It's actually the same root, like Sanskrit gam gachati. Yeah, you can find it here. I can show you. So so Sanskrit gachati goes back to Gwen, and the present is called gumske, and gumske becomes Sanskrit gachati. Yeah, and you have the Avestan is called jasati. Yeah, and in Greek it's baske, and so on. And then it has another present formation. It's the year present. Like in Latin, it's called venio, and in Greek, it's called bino. Okay. And for but in Tocharische, it's actually in Tocharische it's preserved as subjunctive. Yeah, but present is not recorded here because in Tocharische the present is again changed. Yeah, kumsam. We can check the Tocharische verbs in the lexicon. Yeah. So it actually means come, but in Tocharische the formation is changed a little bit. So it's actually not the simple sk. It's not the simple sk present. It's actually nusk present, and the n. I can write it here. A little bit. Yeah. So actually, originally, the root is kum. Sorry. Root is kum, but you have a nusk present instead of sk. Yeah. So sk is of course the original one, and then in Tocharische, it is complicated. It's kind of a secondary development using a nusk, right? And then this nusk is as a metathesis, right? I write it here. Yeah. So you have a metathesis, you have musk. So this is the reason why you have musk here. Yeah. But in Tocharische A, it is preserved. No, it's not preserved. It's still the same. Kumnash. Yeah, kumnash. It's like this. Yeah. Only the subjunctive preserves Indo-European forms. Yeah. This is why here only the subjunctive is recorded here. Yeah. But for the present, it's not. Because the Tocharische present forms is secondary forms. Okay, so this is basically. So you can see the sk present actually, how to say that, has a secondary development into nusk, yeah, or even to another class 11 is called susk. Yeah, and susk is again a combination of the s and sk present. It's also a secondary combination. Yeah. Okay. Ak susk. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically like this, and then now comes nusk, which we have already talked about. Yeah. So for the nusk, we have a root called lint. Yeah, and this root is also a very important Indo-European root. It's called lint. It's actually cognate with what we have already seen, namely with this root. This is a root which we have just checked in the Greek grammar. It's a Greek word for to go or to come, yeah, called eluson. It's the superlative stem for elhomai in Greek. And then this root is also preserved in Tocharische, right? So you have in Tocharische lunch, right? Lunches, yeah. And it is again secondarily extended by a sk, yeah. So originally it is a in stem, right? So infix, in infix, lundere, yeah, lundere, yeah, lundere. And then this lundere becomes lunch in Tocharische. And then this lunch was again secondarily extended by a sk present, yeah. So that's why you have in Tocharische, for the present, you have lunnesk, yeah. So it's it has become pretty complicated, yeah. Okay, and the nasal form is preserved in subjunctive, and the simple aorist. So this is actually a root aorist. It's preserved in Greek, in Vedic, and also in Old Irish, and also in Tocharische. So it's root aorist. Yeah, it's preserved here. Because it is root aorist, the present must be built with suffixes or infixes. Yeah, so we cannot have a root aorist and root present at the same time. Yeah. So this is the reason why we need a nasal infix, or we need a S semantic form for the present. Yeah. Okay. Then the susk. Yeah. Okay. And the susk comes from the root called hek. Yeah. On hek, we also have a Indo-European root, Indo-European origin of this root, hek. Yes, this one. This is the Indo-European root for Latin io or eyes. Yeah. Okay, and for Greek, it's a. Yeah, so it's pretty short. Yeah, a. Yeah, in Greek. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and also in Tocharische, action. Yeah, ax. Yeah. Okay, with the s. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then there's a final class, a 12th class. It's called near present with the suffix near. Oh, yeah, it's actually in origin. It's a denominative. It's derived from the nouns. Yeah, it's a typical denominative. Yeah, class. Okay. Okay, so this is basically for the present. And then for the subjunctive, they actually look quite similar to the how do you say that? We can check the subjunctive forms here. Yeah. Oh, it's pretty noisy. So actually, for the subjunctives, you also have the simple asymmetric. Yeah. Okay. The first class, simple asymmetric, and then you have the simple semantic with a semantic vowel here. Yeah, but pay attention for the subjunctives. The root is actually palatalized. You have it there here. So this is a word. This is the same word, same root for go or come. Originally, it's called come. Yeah, and we have already seen. Yeah. Hmm. Yes, and then the third class is also with the suffix a and r, but the fourth class is different. Fourth class is only preserved in Tocharische B, yeah, good ear, and then fifth class is also the r, yeah, r here, but with upload. So so check it. So actually for the conjunction for the subjunctive, we actually have upload for the different forms. Yeah. For active, simple, you have the lengthened grade here. Yeah. Or the accent is here. Yeah. With the upload. Yeah. Okay. And then you can check the upload here. So it's called car come here, but here is called car. Yeah. With upload. Yeah. Yes, you have cut here, but you have cut kench here. Yeah, so it's different. Okay. And so on. So actually, for the subjunctives, you also have the similar. How do you say that? You have the similar suffix or the infixes, like the na or near. Yeah, near is actually with palatal, Yeah. So basically the same. And also you have sker, and you have nusker, you have susker, you have near. Yeah, so it's basically the same. Same as present. But then how can we know it's subjunctive? It's actually due to the context. Yeah. If it is about future, it's about possibility or condition, and we know that it is it is subjunctive. Yeah, and sometimes subjunctives and for the same root, the present and subjunctive they look different. So we know that it must be subjunctive. Yeah. And sometimes it's also distinguished by um, the accent and also by the how to say that, by the palatalization and so on. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically like this. Yeah. Yeah. So for example, like this. So this is a comparison between the present and subjunctive. So for the root yam means make. The present is called yamaskal, but the subjunctive is called yamu. Yeah, so you see that it's different. Yamu is class 1, and this is class 9. Yeah, with sk. Yeah. And then for this one, to go, present is the 10th class. It's called kummashen, but the subjunctive is the second class. It's called shunne. Yeah, and so on. Okay. So it's basically like this. I think next time we can talk about preterite. So preterite is also a little bit complicated. Yeah, we can talk about the different forms, and then after that we can talk about the participle. Yeah, the preterite participle. Yeah. Okay. So for the preterite we have 6 different classes, and for the participle we have 4 different classes. Actually, I mean, although one is called preterite, another is called preterite participle, but they are independent. They kind of, sometimes they are different. And sometimes one is reduplicated, another is not. Yeah, so so they are different. So here's a comparison between these two. Yeah, okay. But we can leave it to the next time. And now we can just continue reading. Yeah, but website is a little bit. There's something wrong. Yeah, let's think. It's actually not working. Yeah. Yeah, but it's fine. Yeah. So this is actually the text, and you also find. So here's a text and translation English by Lane, George S. Lane. Yeah, he's a Indo-European scholar, Indo-European linguist in USA. Yeah, and besides this, we can actually use a French the French book by Pinot. We find, I think. This is basically the two editions we can use now. Yeah. Yes. So this is the text we can use. Yeah. So as I have explained last time, so this is the text is called Punyavanta Jataka, and we have several parallel texts, either in Prakrit, to be specific, is Pali, and also we have in Tibetan, we have in Chinese, and also we have in Sanskrit. Yeah, okay. And in this story, we have actually 5 figures. First one is called Upavan, called beautiful. Second one is called Viryavan, the powerful. The Sherpavan, skillful. The Plaginavan, wise. Yeah, okay, with wisdom. Yeah. And the third one, and that's the fifth one is called Punyavan. It's called virtual. Yeah. Yeah. Not sure if we can. Oh, we can still use it. Yeah. Well, this is always convenient because it contains some glossaries and explanations. Yeah. I need to see if it's really working. Yeah. Okay, I think I can open it. Yeah. And you also have the fragment here. You also have the photo here. Yeah. So this is basically what we are going to read. Yeah. I think we have explained some words last time. Right? Yeah. So this is This is the first verse, but we only have 3 padas. Originally, we have 4 padas, but we only have 3 padas left. Yeah. Okay. So here you find you find the information about the parallel versions, right? Okay. And for the parallel versions, there's an important paper by Ji Xianling in 1943. So this is actually this paper which we should which we can use. Yeah. So this paper is called Parallelversionen zur Tocharische Rezension des Punyavanta Jataka. Yeah. So here is actually so here is a short introduction of the stories contained in the Tocharian versions. Yeah, so first story is about the Bodhisattva Sarvatasida. So after after conquering the dangers of the oceans, he obtained the wish jewelry, the wish jewel, Sanskrit Chintamani. Yeah. So this is the first story. And then the second story is about the allmähliche Verschlechterung der Lebensbedingungen infolge der Trägheit des Menschen. So it's about the, how to say that, deterioration of the human beings, yeah, because of their laziness, yeah. Okay, and then comes the third person. You see, you can see the order of these 5 persons are. The orders is actually first Rupavan, but we don't have it. It's actually lost in our fragment in our manuscript. And the second one is called Viryavan, but the story, the version by Viryavan is also incomplete in our version, in our Tochari fragment. And then after Viryavan, so the first 2 stories are told by Viryavan. And then the third one is by, well, he actually did not tell a story, but he actually quotes the speech by masters. Yeah. So so with these 5 verses, he just talks about the advantages of skills. Yeah. And for these 5 verses, we have actually good parallel text. It's actually the Sanskrit Shikadaka Sutra. Yeah. Okay. And then comes the 4th figure called Prajnavan. Actually, he talks quite a lot. And among his stories, this one, Mechanica und Maler, and this is actually one of the most important, or one of the most important famous Tocharian stories. Yeah. So it's, I think we talked about it last semester. So there's a Mechanica, yeah. So he invented a machine girl, and to serve the painter, and the painter was fooled by the machine. Yeah, he did not recognize that it is a machine girl, so he touched it. He has shown his love, but then the machine girl was destroyed. Yeah, and then he feels humiliated, and then he draw a painting of himself hanging on the wall. Yeah, and again the mechanica, the mechanic was fooled by him, by the painter. Yeah, so this is basically the story. It's very detailed. Yeah. And then the third story, this is the 4th story. The third story is called, it's about the plant called Kroshavati. And Krosha is actually a lens equaling like 2.5 miles, probably. Yeah, it's a lens. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then the 5th story is about Ravana, or the Rama story. You find a similar episode in the Ramayana, the Sanskrit Ramayana. Yeah, but it's different from the Sanskrit version. Yeah. Okay, the 5th story. And then 6th story is about the 4 friends who, well, they have magic powers, but they do not have any wisdom. So they use their magic power to revive kind of there's a how to say that they put the bones of a dead lion together and to make it into a living lion. But after that, the hungry lion, just swallowed all four magicians, and they die. Yeah. So this is a tragic story. Yeah. And to criticize the people who have power, who have magic power, but without wisdom. Yeah. Okay. And then comes a story that the four princes, there's five figures, and they are also princesses of this of one kingdom, and then they go to a foreign land and they want to test their capabilities. Yeah, and of course Punyavan becomes a king, and he is actually the best. Yeah, and then all the other four becomes the servants to Punyavan. It's really kind of metaphorical, or I think it's kind of like some Christian literatures. Is there something like I forgot the title, but you find in religious texts that there are several persons, and each person has a special name, and this name is not randomly picked up. So some is probably called virtue, and the other called generosity, and the other called kind of kindness, and some like this version. Yeah. So it's basically the same in the Buddhist texts. So Punyavan, so the person called Punyavan, he's actually the best, and it means that Punya virtue is the best. Yeah, it's better than the beautiful form, a beautiful body. It's better than the power, the physical power, and better than the artistic skills, and better than even better than wisdom. Yeah, so punya is even better than wisdom. Okay, and then comes the typical Jataka ending, so the identification of the different figures. So of course Punyavan must be Buddha. Yeah, so Buddha tells the story to praise virtue, punya. Okay. So this is basically the content of the Tocharische version. And then comes information about the Chinese or Sanskrit parallel text. So we have in Mahavastu stories, similar stories. We have also in Jataka Nidana, Chinese. It's also in Mahaprajna Paramita Sutra or Shastra. Yeah. And also we have in Diga Agama, and we also have in Murasavasvadin Vinaya. Okay. By Shajya Vastu. Yeah. So this is actually a very popular, very important texts. Or yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is again background. And then we can probably move on to, so actually the version by Pinot is pretty good. It contains a lot of linguistic commentaries, yeah, and we can check them together, yeah. Okay, so this is basically, yeah, okay, a comparative reading, yeah, okay. So Kasunium Klium Stasishi Shirk Kulmentwan Third Carter, yeah. So the good fame, we also, well, I actually have already mentioned this. Okay, and I think we already finished the first verse, and now let's check the second verse. Yeah, the second verse called Yuknar Imadak Yaslunchas Kupnar Imadak Yakdune. So it means that the enemies will be conquered. He will certainly conquer the enemies quickly, and he will obtain. Kripna means obtain. So he will quickly. Imadak means quickly. So he will quickly obtain the capability, the ability. Okay. Yeah. So you find the translation here, and then Tsrashi shi mak nishpantur Tsrashi mak. So here is a how to say it? It's a lukka. Yeah, it's a missing. So here is missing, and then it is restored by Zig and Zikling. Yeah, or by Zig probably. Yeah, shkan shnya shen. So here we have the strong one, but in genitive, yeah, genitive plural. Yeah. So for the strong ones, there are a lot of riches. There are a lot of properties. Yeah. So nishpantur is plural of nishpar. Nishpar means property and riches. Yeah. And mak means a lot, many. Yeah. And then for the strong one, there are a lot of shkan means end. Yeah. So shnashen means relatives or people belonging to himself. Okay. So here. Okay. Yeah. And then num sench yaslush tsrasishak kum sench yukant tsrasishak. Okay. So num sench goes back to the. I can show you. You have the explanation here. If you want, you can check it. But sometimes it's too. It's probably at the beginning it's too much. Yeah, you don't really need so much information for the first reading. Yeah. Okay, but we can check it sometimes. Yeah. Okay. So for num sench, it comes from the root num, and num means bow down. It's cognate with Sanskrit word namas. Yeah, num means naigan, bent. Yeah. So tokar a num means bow. So they bow down. It's present 8 with S. So num sench. Yeah. Okay. So they bow down. Who bow down? It's actually the enemy. So yaslush is plural. So the enemies bow down to the strong ones. So here, ch is actually allative. Yeah. So and then this is plural. So the enemies bow down to the strong ones, right? And then kum sench comes from the root kum. So kum sench comes from the root kum or kum, yeah, and it's present 10. So you have actually originally nush, but then this n and s. So m n s m n s. The 3 consonants, the middle n is actually lost. Yeah. So we have the kum sench here. Okay. The kum sench means to come or to go. Yeah. So and who come is called yurkan. Yurkan is actually, we find it here. Yuk is here it's singular, but here we have a plural. Yeah, so means kind of reverence or the honor or the respects. Yeah, it's plural. Yeah, so the respects or the honors come to the powerful one. Yeah, so it's like this. Yeah. And as I have explained, the root kum, it's a typical Proto-Indo-European root. We find it in the dictionary. It's called gwem, right? I have shown you, yeah. So it's just comes from the root gwem, kumsench, yeah, okay. And then another root called yuk. Yuk means actually to respect, to honor, and this is actually connected with a Sanskrit root called arch. Yeah. So in Sanskrit, we have a root called arch. I can show you here. Wait a minute. Yeah. So in Sanskrit, we have a root called arch, and arch actually means glisten or zen or prize. You prize something. So you prize someone, and it means that you respect someone. So this is actually the origin of the Tocharian word yuk. Yeah, and yuk comes from ekwa. Yeah, means actually to shine. Yeah, to shine, and also to sing and to praise. Yeah, and it's connected with Tocharian yuk and yake. Yeah, so it's also a Indo-European root. Okay. Yes. Yeah, and here he also explains a semantic change. Yeah. So the reason why shine and glance and zinger and leader can come from the same root, because it's kind of a synesthesia. What does it mean? It means that really the, how to say that, the what is it, the hymnos, the hymns, yeah, there's kind of some special expression, yeah. This means that the hymn or the loblit shines, yeah. So it makes someone shine, makes someone famous. It's look like this, yeah. Okay. Okay, and then probably this root, curb. And curb is also an interesting word. Curb actually mean to obtain in Tocharian, but the original meaning is a little bit different. I can check it if it's here. Wait a minute. Yeah. So actually, the Tocharian word curb actually comes from the root klep. Klep originally means to stow, to verbergen, to hide something. So it's kind of originally kind of a negative meaning, but then it comes a new becomes a it obtains a neutral meaning, means obtain. Yeah, erlangen. Yeah. Okay. Originally it means actually stehlen. Yeah, you have in Greek called klepto, stehler, or hintergeher. Yeah, and also in Latin you have klepo. Yeah, means stehlen. Yeah, and so on. Yeah, so this is so a little bit interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is here, yeah, and then next one called yeah. Okay, so next one, Tsrashin vaste vrasashi tsrasishi ma praski nash. So again, the subject is the powerful one. And then Waste means protection, and Vrasashi means the people. Again, in genitive plural. So the powerful one are protection for the people. And then for the powerful ones, Rasushi, there is no, ma is negation. So there is actually no, nash means there is. There's actually no plask. And plask means actually fear, Furcht. Yeah. It's actually cognate with a German word Furcht. You can check it actually in the dictionary. So we use this dictionary for the German etymology. Yeah, and you have it here, like Plask fürchten. Yeah, so this is a German word Fürst, and then it's actually cognate with Tocharian word called Plask. Yeah, Plaski. Yeah, and the Proto-Indo-European root, I'm not sure I can, I didn't see it, but it's okay, yeah. Yeah, but you just, you can remember that the German word Furcht is etymologically connected with the Tocharian word Plask. Yeah, find it here, yeah. Plaski, yeah, Furcht. So actually for the powerful one, there's actually no fear, okay? And then we have Nash, yeah. So for Nash, it's also a very important Indo-European root. The root is called Nes in Tocharian B and Nas in Tocharian A. Yeah, it means B. Yeah, but again, pay attention. This root is has also suppletion. So Nas is only for present, and for the subjunctive, we have another root called tak. Yeah, check it. So for the subjunctive, so the subjunctive preterite, we have another root, tak. It's also quite, how to say that, widespread that in Indo-European languages we have for the roots, for B, two different roots. Like in Sanskrit, we have as and bu, right? In Greek as well, yeah. Okay, yeah. And also in English, of course. Yeah, in English we have I am and he was, yeah, right? Yeah, am and was, or the it is and he was. Yeah, that's two different forms. Yeah, okay. And Nash is third person singular, okay, here. And this root again has a has a well-known Indo-European etymology. It actually goes back to the Proto-Indo-European Nes, and Nes actually means unbeschadet Heimkehr. Yeah, so you go back home safely. Yeah, okay. And it is attested in Vedic. We have Nasi Mahi, and also in Greek we have Asmenos. Yeah, so this is medium. This is a middle participle. Yeah, in Greek. So that's why we use zero grade. Uns turns into us in Greek. Okay, and then present. We have either reduplicated present in Greek, in Sanskrit, sorry, nimsati is called aufsuchen or hinkommen, or in Greek it's called nisomai, called gehe or kommen zurück, and also in Sanskrit we have another form called nasate. Nasate means united, they become united at home. Yeah. Like this, or neomai. Neomai means actually go back home. Yeah, okay. And then in Tocharian, we have Nesau and Nasem. Okay, so this is actually the Indo-European root for Nes and Nas. Yeah, okay. Okay, and I think we can still read a more sentence, one sentence more, and then we can make a stop. So termio kasu trashune pukam pruchamo nie puskam. Okay. So termio means therefore, it actually comes from the demonstrative pronoun term with the your instrumental singular instrumental suffix. So termio, therefore, and kasu means good. It's a nominative. Yeah, and slashune means actually power. Okay, so power is good, and pukam from locative of puk means in everything, in all the things, in everything. And pluchamo means actually advantages. Yeah. So vorteilbringend, it brings advantages. Yeah. It brings benefits or beneficial, something like that. And ni for me or in or my, and perskam is locative singular of persk. Persk means actually mind. Yeah. So it means that therefore, in my mind, power is good. Power is beneficial among all the things. So beneficial among all the things means that power is actually the best for me in my mind. Yeah. Well, actually, in Tocharische, we don't have a superlative. In order to express the meaning of comparative and superlative, we usually use such words like among all the things, yeah, something like that. Okay, I think this is probably everything for today. And before we stop, there's actually some notice. Probably some of you have already received the message from the university or from your friends that the Christmas holiday begins at 19 December, right? Okay, so this is Christmas. So we only have another meeting on December. So this is actually the Christmas. Yeah. This is Christmas holiday, right? Christmas holiday, and then the final session this year, okay, will be 14 December. Okay, and then we have holidays until 6th of January 2021. Yeah. I really hope this year can end soon. Yeah, this is really really a different year. Okay, yeah. And yeah, bleiben Sie gesund. So keep healthy, and we and see you next week. Yeah. And thank you for your attention until now. And I hope you can learn something from this course. Yeah. Okay. And vor allem bleiben Sie gesund. Wir sehen uns nächste Woche. Okay. Wiedersehen. Ja, okay, so I stopped the recording and we will end the meeting. Yeah. Okay. See you next time. Bye bye. Okay. Ja, sehr gerne.